live from the planet Lovetron, the Thomas Game Podcast. I am. Let me turn that up again. Hold on.
Here he go.
One more again. Hold on. Let me turn this up. Hold on.
DJ Realm Life. DJ Realm Life.
You know my name. It's just Tiffany. You know my name. It's just Tiffany.
I finally got you.
You know my name. That's it. That's all I get.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't even gotta say nothing more. There go right there.
You know my name. I'm gonna change my intro. It's Tiffany, his better half.
No doubt. How you doing this evening, dear?
Good. I got flowers and roses when I walked in.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Some happiness. You ain't like the tag. You know what I'm saying?
Yours sound better.
We gonna work on it, but episode 21.
But I'm glad I got one, so I'm not gonna complain.
Episode 21, Thomas Game Podcast. And you say you doing all right? Doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing better when I walked in. The house was clean. There's roses on the table. What's going on? What you did?
What you thought?
What?
Thought it was gonna be stinking and dirty in here?
You was home all day, so I don't know what to expect when I'm walking in.
Man, this Thomas crib, man. So everybody out there listening, this your first time or you've been listening, listen, we're gonna keep it simple tonight, man. Just go ahead and subscribe to YouTube. That's it. Hit the damn button.
It.
You know what I'm saying?
It won't cost a thing.
At all. Hit the button, share, like, comment. Also, other platforms such as Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and other platforms as well. Just go ahead and follow, share. Just do the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Want to give a shout out to everybody, all the lovers out there, all the husbands, all the wives, all the boyfriends, girlfriends, the side chicks, the little friends, and hey, big head people, all of them. Shout out to all of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey, big head people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The at the 10 o'clock chicks. You know what I'm saying? Hey, big head, that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you meant.
Yeah. And I want to give, you know what I'm saying, also shout out to all the fathers out there, man. I hope y'all had a good Father's Day.
Oh, yeah, because the last time we did this was before Father's Day.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So shout out to all the fathers. Hope your Father's Day was good. Mine was great. You know what I'm saying? Had a good time. Can't complain.
I'm glad you enjoyed your Father's Day.
Thank you. Hope everybody had a great day as well. And really quickly, I want to go over Father's Day about the reason why I don't like as I wear the father's.
Yeah, I was about to point that out. If anybody listened to the last episode, we did briefly talk about fathers versus baby daddy.
Yeah.
Right now, my husband is wearing a shirt that says father with the word baby daddy under it crossed out.
That's right. Get that the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying?
He's serious about that thing.
Absolutely. But real quickly, I want to just give a better explanation on it because I heard myself and I felt like I ain't get it to where I wanted to say it.
No, I thought you did a really good job explaining it.
Yeah, but I want to just really briefly, because anybody, you can go back to episode 20, check it out. But real briefly, baby daddy, of course, is based on, if you haven't been married and you had a child out of wedlock. So that's what the real definition is, right? You with me so far?
I mean, that's one definition. A baby daddy is just someone you have a baby with. Right,
but the real definition of it is someone who had a child out of wedlock who's not married.
Yeah, I think the black culture kind of adopted it and made it that way.
Yeah. So, like I said, coming from where I come from, my parents was already married, before they had me, and not placing any judgment on anybody, you know what I'm saying? But I just never liked the term.
Right.
And just because you are a husband or quote unquote baby father doesn't make you better or less of a father.
Right.
It's just the term itself. So I want to, get that clear because I was married before I had my son, and in my situation, they worked.
Right.
So,
But you still, even with that being said, you never really identified yourself as a baby daddy.
Never,
you always said ex-husband or Jay's father.
Right. And even I never put the baby mother or baby mama on his mom. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about that. It's just
it's your preference.
It's your preference, right? And to keep it very simple, and the best analogy I could give is GED and high school diploma. Which one sounds better? You know what I'm saying?
Was good.
It's the same thing, right?
Look at you. That was a good analogy.
You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and just hit this right quick. Drop these jewels. It's the same thing. Same thing. But if a job is looking at it, high school diploma sounds better than GED. That's all.
Right.
So just shout out to all the,
I like how you put that.
shout out to all the fathers, all the mothers. You know what I'm saying? You could be called whatever you want to be called. That's just my opinion. I just want the best for us, especially our black people out there. That's all.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing we're gonna get into, I'm not even gonna ask you. We're gonna just get right to it.
Let's get into it.
Your people be asking, how can you always be saying what we gonna talk about today? We're gonna get into it, dynamic. First thing,
Okay.
August Alsina.
Mm.
If you guys don't know who he is an R&B singer. His hit record was called "I Love This." Great record. Had the remix with Chris Brown and Trey Songz. It's a banger. He had other songs I can't think of at the moment. So he did an interview. Let me get a sip of this. I'm not gonna say the name of the drink because they're not giving us a check.
Well, just know it's not juice.
It looked like it, but
It's not.
basically he came out today. He did an interview with Angela Yee, and he said that there's always been speculation with him and Jada, having some sort of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So he came out today. He said a couple of things. Not today, but he had an interview. Some clips came out today. Basically saying that Will gave him permission to have a relationship with his wife, who is Jada Pinkett Smith.
Well, he
You saw
didn't
the
use
clip.
those words.
You saw the clip, so you
His
tell me what you
words
think.
were more along the line. That's what I think. But his words were, Will gave him his blessing to be a part of his family and to give himself to his wife.
Yeah,
He kind of danced around the question, but when you listen to it, it's almost as if he had permission to sleep with her.
Let me tell you something. He's a Virgo, and you know that we have our way of change. I don't co-sign what he's doing, but we have our way of flipping and changing our words.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes to only that we understand.
Right, y'all have your own.
We have
lingo.
our own lingo, absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
I always say that.
I am the inventor and founder of the word, sea donkey. I invented that word. So, in other words as well, you know what I'm saying? Joey, you know what I'm saying? You might get what your mama got.
Yeah,
I
they
came
can
up
go
with all
back
that.
to what episode? Was it 2 to get your definition of a sea donkey?
Probably episode 2.
Go back to the previous episodes. But.
So, he didn't flat out say it, but he said it, just danced around a little bit and just reworded it.
Yeah. He said it without saying it. And what got me was he said he never gave himself to anybody the way he gave himself to her. He didn't say to the family, to him and Will, to her and Will,
Yeah.
but to Jada. And when he had to walk away from it, he said that it killed him. Like, damn, Jada.
Yeah,
Girl.
that box must be golden or something. One time
that
for
mouth.
Jada, the box or the mouth. We don't know which one it is,
Like, he
but
said that cut him deep.
yeah. And this was supposed to be a relationship where I guess she was supposed to just counsel him as she's been doing with the Red Table Talk. This young man, if you don't know, he's had a lot of crazy situations out in public with his mom. He's had friends get killed. He's from New Orleans. He's been depressed. He's been suicidal. So, to my understanding, Jada was supposed to just counsel him. I don't know. This was after hours counseling. I don't know what happened.
And honestly, that's all it could have been, because isn't he like a little off, August Alsina? Like,
Off like how? Mentally?
yeah.
Could
And
be,
who's
but
to say that his accusations are accurate? I mean, it could be, because
could be.
again, it's been speculation that Jada and Will had an open marriage, but
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I need to hear
Well, you
more
think-
details of that story. I want to
You
hear
don't-
their side. Like, I would love to hear Jada and Will's side to the story.
Well, they came out today. I don't think it was them themselves. I think their representatives came out and said those accusations are not true. Of course, they're going to come out and say that.
But I want Jada to sit down at her own red table and give a full,
I tell you,
detailed.
I tell you what. If they have one, I bet Will be right there with his arms crossed.
Right.
Just
both
like this.
Both of them, because the way August Alsina was talking in the interview, I almost believed him.
I wouldn't put
It
it past.
was very believable. And then considering that, again, Jada and Will are known to have an open marriage.
Right. Yeah. I told you, and there's a clip that you heard about that she said they're never going to divorce, even if she stays on one end and he stays on the other with somebody else. We are never going to divorce.
See, I don't know about that, Jada, but yeah.
I have a couple of things. Saw the pictures. They were very too close for a counselor, and they were just too
I
close.
don't think it was anything inappropriate.
They were laying down.
With that picture.
They were laying down together, and one person's head was next to the other one. Like it was really.
It was just them
intimate.
two in the picture, or the one with the kids? Because
They had,
then they have
yeah,
pictures with the family too.
That's a problem too. I don't know about that one. Why you taking
But
pictures
Will,
of my kids?
I'm sure Will does not have a problem with it, and I'm sure Will did give his blessing.
On what?
If anything happened between him and Jada, like he said, I do believe him on that part.
She sound like Erykah Badu. Erykah Badu has a history of getting into people's soul. Apparently, how she is. Like she got something on her. She's done it to 3 Stacks. She's done it to Common, Jay Electronica. Like whoever she touched, DOC, whoever she touches, they seem to get affected by her loving.
Yeah.
And the way this brother was talking,
Yeah, he sounded like he was in the sunken place.
she touched his soul in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
He looked really hurt. And what did he say? He said he gave himself to her.
Yeah, he
for
gave
years.
himself to her for years, and he's never been in love with anybody the way he was in love with her. He never gave himself to anybody the way he gave himself to her. So, of course, it only leaves one to think that you're talking about sex.
Yeah, because ain't that
Because
much
why
good
her?
counseling.
Why single her out? Because of a counseling session? I don't.
Ain't that much good counseling in the world. And I have my issue is the talking about it. I understand you women nowadays who get mad at men like this. And what I mean by that is the talking.
But, okay, let me play devil's advocate here.
Play it.
Okay, so he only addressed it because now his career is being affected, because it's almost being portrayed as if he was a homewrecker or that he didn't have Will's blessing. You know what I mean? So it's one thing to be messing around with a married woman, but if the husband allows it, and this is an arrangement that they had, I think he wanted people to understand that.
Until today, you haven't heard anything about him.
Right, but that was his whole purpose for doing the interview, is to let the people know that he didn't just throw himself at her. He wasn't chasing her. This is an arrangement that they had. So I think that should, determine what kind of career he's going to have. Because like you said, they don't want to work with him because of all of this that's going on.
Yeah, apparently he's been blackballed. And I don't doubt that, because being blackballed is a real thing. You hear that a lot, and sometimes we don't know what it is, so we don't believe it. But being blackballed is a real thing.
So give the people a breakdown of what blackballed is.
If you don't know what blackballed is it's a power move. It actually happens a lot to women. It happens to everybody, but a lot of times, like for example, this Me Too movement, like Weinstein, these guys, a lot of them were saying, hey, if you don't sleep with me, you don't do this, you don't do that, I'll make sure you'll never work in Hollywood.
Right.
That's being blackballed. Or if just you doing something that someone doesn't like, they put in a word to everybody, whether it's a movie industry, music industry, they put the word out and like, you know what? Yo, I'm done.
Right.
You're done. Jay-Z is known for doing it. Our favorite rapper. It's a lot of people out there who do that stuff, that will blackball people.
Right. So I don't think that he was just doing an interview to, tell their business or to, tell people what was going on. I think he was trying to clear his name, because it almost makes him look bad.
Or it could be
Either way, I think he looks bad. I think they're all strange, from Jada to Will to
either
August
way.
Alsina. I mean, I love Jada. Like, I love Red Table Talk. I love Will, but I think they have an interesting relationship. One that wouldn't work for me, but it works for them. So if it works for them, they like it. I love it.
Speaking of Red Table Talk, if you haven't checked it out, we didn't get to talk about it. Excuse me. That Will Smith interview, that's the best interview she's had, the Red Table Talk. He,
No, I didn't see
you
it.
got to check that out. If you haven't, people check that out.
I think I heard about it, but I don't think I
The
tuned
best-
into the full episode.
The best Red Table Talk interview. He's basically talking about his childhood, how fatherhood has been to him, what his father meant to him. It is, and it got a little emotional. You know, for fathers, it's definitely an emotional interview. But she basically shut up and let him do talking, and that's not, you know, that's unusual for her. Usually, she does a lot of talking, but she let him talk and let him
But no,
express himself.
no. Everybody that comes on Red Table Talk, she lets them express themselves. She lets them talk, and she's really good at listening and evaluating what they're saying.
This interview is the best though.
Yeah, I want to see it. But going back to the August Alsina situation, because even when Angela Yee was interviewing him, she even asked, like, so are you upset that Will and Jada have not addressed this to clear your name?
They're not gonna do that.
I understand that they're not going to do it, but it's like it's going to destroy his career.
But
So I think that's why he had no choice but to do an interview. That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, okay. So if he really was being blackballed, I can kind of see, okay, maybe this is my time to really finally speak up on it. I
Right.
get that if that's what the situation
Right.
is.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Now, if it's anything other than that, and he just was
'Cause-
doing an interview to promote sales or something like that,
Yeah, because
then he did wrong.
that album, he just got an album that just came out or on his way out. So
Oh,
it could be a promotional stunt to sell more records. But, you know, we'll see, man. We'll see. Leave your comments on YouTube, you know.
Yeah.
Tell us
well,
what
we
you
did
think.
post it on our story, and 100% of the people who voted said he
Read-
shouldn't have came out.
Yeah. I just have a thing about just talking on public platforms as far as like personal stuff. I just it's chatty patty to me, and that's more of a female trait. I just never like to see a man. I don't like to see anybody do it. You know, if a woman does it, it's kind of expected. I just don't like to see men being, and I see that a lot nowadays. Men being chatty patties. I just don't.
Chatty Patty.
Yeah, it's just shut up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I you may say something to your homeboys because that's Jada Pickett, but just to get on YouTube and a public platform with like, yo,
Last time I checked, everybody like to brag, men
Yeah.
and women.
but damn, like, but we'll see what's going on with that.
Yeah.
So the second thing we want to get into, we're on IG Live. What is the second
Hey, IG
thing?
Live.
You know what I'm saying, trying to get some people, wake them up.
So we're gonna get into the second conversation.
Get into it.
Let's get into it. So me and a lot of other women, and we've been asked this question several times, so here it is.
Oh,
So
big bro.
anybody on live, fellas, if you're on live and you're listening, please chime in, give us, your explanation to this next question.
Go Live Films, what up?
Hey,
Bear
Go Live
Spikes.
Films.
Bear Spikes,
Hey,
what up?
cuz, hey, Bear Spikes. I know you can't see me. I'm behind this camera, but that's because my husband want to take up all the space. But anyway,
She don't want to be on camera, cuz.
no, I've been
Just keep
got
it a
over
buck.
that.
Yeah, just keep it a buck.
We've been
Ain't
got
enough
over that.
space over here.
See, now it's not enough space. But anyway,
Talk about it.
so why is it so forgiving or so accepting for a woman to forgive a man after he did something wrong or he cheated, but a man will not forgive a woman or his wife
Steph,
if
what
she
up?
does the same thing?
You want me to answer that? You want me to answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think we talked about this before, but I'm gonna talk about it again. Women are lovers from the time they're very, very young. They're children. Y'all love everything.
Some, not all.
But
Don't speak on a woman's perspective. I want to know a man's reason for not forgiving a woman after she cheated.
okay, let me give you a man perspective. But first I'm gonna say a woman life is love and a man love is life. If that makes sense to you.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Okay, so with a man, we put women at a very high pedestal, goddess. Our standards are very high when it comes to women. And a man, truthfully, will only twice in his life will fall in love. Twice. We're not people that like women that easily fall in love.
Anthony Hamilton.
No, I'm just that's just
No,
what
that
it is.
song he had. He
Yeah,
said
yeah, never
a
fall in
man
love.
won't
Yeah.
fall in love twice, and if he does, he won't say.
He-
If he falls in love more, he won't say.
It's very hold on now. Me give Ant some of that because that's It's very true. You will not
Yeah.
find out a lot of men fall in love 5, 10, 20 times. You won't. That's just not in us.
Okay.
So when we fall in love and that person hurts us, again, we don't fall in love a lot. It damages us. Like, you guys are emotional creatures. We're not built to deal with that kind of emotion. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're strong in other areas though. As far as heartbreak and forgiveness is a very difficult thing. You guys are more nurturing, and you guys are more able and used to being hurt. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I don't know about that last part you said about being hurt, but I will say women are more nurturing and we're more loving and we're forgiving. And I think that's just because most of us are more mature and men cannot handle the same hurt. So I will agree with you. They can't handle the same hurt, but the outcome is the same. We're going to be damaged either way. We still have real pain and real feelings. We experience the same thing that men feel, but it's just that when it comes to forgiveness and bringing a man back, now if you do it one time, okay, I can understand that. But 2 and 3 times, I'm not speaking to those type of women. I think if you forgive a man 2, 3, 4 times, you're just stupid.
But you know what? I disagree with the maturity part. I don't think
I was
maturity.
just throwing it in there. 'Cause it
Yeah,
sound
I
good.
think
But
you sound crazy.
I
with that.
think
Yeah.
I'm only speaking to the women who may forgive once, maybe twice. I don't know about the twice thing. I haven't been in that situation. I'm not trying to be in that situation where it's been 2 or multiple times, but I don't understand multiple times. But once, and this is your wife, and you guys are married, why I don't see why a man can't forgive, especially if she's willing to work, put in the work.
Tony Terry, what up? Bear Spike says men cheat just to bust down. When a woman cheats, they have to have gotten feelings for that man.
And see, that's the big difference I think is when it comes to forgiveness. I think that's it, because he hit the nail on the head. Give him a little sound effect.
There you go. Excuse me. Ooh, drinking too
It's
fast.
an emotional connect when a woman cheats.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, women can cheat and they can't do what we do because there's no emotion attached when we do it.
Right,
So-
and that's the thing. There's no emotional attachment, but
Yeah.
it still hurts.
Go Live says men forgive. Not as much as women, big bro. You know, we got to keep it a buck. You know, like, look what happens when
Men forgive after they know they done did some shit first.
that's one scenario. But if a man hasn't done anything and he gets betrayed, he's not going to, like, it's going to be hard for him to forgive if he does. Look what happens on the news. If a man find out his woman cheating, what happens? He kills her or he harms her. He goes to jail.
Same thing that happens. That can happen for a man or a woman, though.
But it
Statistically, it happens on
see
both.
You see it more with a man.
No, because women
'Cause-
do crazy stuff. They'll stab you.
I'm not
They
saying
may not have a gun, but
I'm
they
not
stab
saying-
you. They bust your windows
they
out.
do. They do. I'm not saying they're not crazy too, but men have a harder time dealing with it.
But I think
Like
it's
we hit.
because of what he said. There's an emotional connect.
And see, Steph says women stay in hopes he'll change one day. That's very true too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. But as a man, it's a stigma on us already. What's one of the negative stigmas that's on the man? All men are dogs, right? So most girls coming up, not you, a lot of women coming up are already being told niggas ain't nothing. So when a dude cheat on you, it's been embedded in your head for years. So you already got the feeling like not everybody.
But not all women think
That's
like
what I
that.
said.
So that's a
what I
bad
said. Not all.
example.
No, it's not, because it's real.
But that's for the women. I think that situation is for the women that will forgive 2, 3, 4 times.
But they
But
out there.
once in a lifetime, when you marry someone, you don't go into that marriage thinking that they're going to cheat.
It's some women do. It's the
But
same.
then I believe personally, those are the same women. You know what you got. You know who you're dealing with.
But it's out there. It's the same. It's all men are dogs. They're like, that's a saying on men. There's not too many saying on women like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say we hold you guys as goddess. I don't hear us like that. So
Right,
for
because-
some
and
people, it's
again,
expected.
I think that goes back to what my cousin was saying, because for men to cheat, it's more accepting and more forgiving for a woman to get past it, because we know there's no emotional connection there. And we know you probably won't do it again once you realize if you have a good man and one that just messed up and he's actually sorry and you know wants to do everything he can to make it work, and you know he cheated because he probably felt like he was missing something, sex or something was missing. So he probably
for a man.
You
Not
know
all
what
the
I mean?
time.
Most men cheat in a marriage, in a happily marriage, because their wife is not doing something that next woman is doing. The 80-20 rule. He won't necessarily leave her. He's not going to leave his wife.
Leave her. He's not leaving. He's not
because
leaving
he loves his wife, and like you said, a man only falls in love once or twice, so he loves his wife.
Huff,
he don't love the woman that he's cheating with.
No.
So, but that's what I'm saying. But that's why women are more forgiving, because they feel like for the man that's going to work at getting his marriage back, they know the reason for him cheating was there was no emotional connection there.
I want to read just what Steph said, what I was about to say. Men cheat because it's available.
But that's what I was saying. That's exactly what I said. There's no emotional connection.
No, but there's
opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is opportunity. Like for some men, if the opportunity is there, whether or not they're happy or not at home, for some men, it's to say, hey, if I still got it, let me see if I still got it.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. That's why it's easier for a woman to forgive. Not saying that the pain, it doesn't erase the pain and the hurt that she's going through.
Never.
But it's easier to forgive because she know that bitch you was cheating with don't mean nothing to you. But if a woman cheats, that man means something to her. And it's harder for a man to compete with that. So he may not be as forgiving. I
don't even think it's all about that. The man don't even, you know, it's part of the male ego. He's going to think about that. Like, damn, the guy she was cheating with, was he bigger than me? Did he pay more attention? Whatever it might be. But it all's going to come down to her.
Right.
And it's going to be like, she cheated.
She gave his stuff
away. That's all that matter. That's why we have a hard time forgiving. And again, it's like you guys have, not all of you, but a large amount of you have 9 lives when it comes to forgiving. It's real.
Right.
You know, like I don't judge anybody for, you know, maybe if it happened once or twice for forgiving. Like you said earlier, if it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times and you still forgiving, then it's not them, it's you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just not, you don't value yourself. You don't appreciate yourself. So you allow this person to continue to cheat on you. You know,
but let me ask you this. You don't think for men, right, if their wife cheated on them and it was just to either get back at him or just for the sex, right? You don't think that man would be more willing to make it work than the man who's trying to make it work with a woman who left and cheated with a man she's emotionally involved with? I don't think he will. I think so. Both scenarios, you're thinking unless
he knows that he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. But if he felt like he was doing what he was supposed to do and you still went out and cheated,
oh yeah, no, that's,
you know what I'm saying? Unless he knows for a fact, damn, you know what? I wasn't paying her enough attention. I was playing video games, or I was out with my homeboys and left her alone a lot of times, and that's why she did what she did. Unless it's that, nah. Only thing he gonna think about is she cheated.
And for women, I mean, I can't speak for all, but for most, especially for me, attention is key.
Absolutely.
And once we feel we're not getting that attention, just like anybody, they're going to go look for it from somebody else.
And I agree with Huff right here. That ain't no excuse.
No. Cheating is, there is no excuse for cheating. But you can at least be honest with yourself and understand why people cheat. There's no excuse for it.
This is the thing that I don't like when it comes to cheating, is double standards with men and women.
But it doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't. But this is the double standards that I hear. And you said kind of it earlier. If a woman cheats, it's because the man ain't do whatever. If a man cheats, he a dog.
But you said that. You said if we already have this stigma on us.
That's the double standards that's on us.
Because statistically, men themselves will say they're only cheating because, for one, they're men. Their sex drive is a lot higher than most women. And sex is just sex for them.
At a certain age.
Right. But sex is just sex for them. That's it.
Right. But the thing is, like Huff said, I don't care who ain't do what.
Right.
If you feel like you got to step out, just leave. Just leave.
Right.
Like
No, I 100% agree with that.
Have that discussion first.
Right.
See if this person is willing to change. Tell this person,
Mhm.
hey, you don't pay me enough attention. You don't sexually, I'm not fully satisfied. Whatever it is.
Right.
And try to work it out. If they don't try to work it out, leave.
Right. And I'm again, it doesn't justify a man or a woman cheating.
Right.
However, if you are going to decide to work it out, both of you have to take accountability for
No
the
doubt.
part that was played in the cheating.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? You have to understand and get to the bottom of why that person cheated, because that's the only way you're going to be able to move past it. If you don't understand why, that's always going to play in the back of your head. It doesn't excuse it, doesn't justify it, but you have to know why and work on that why.
Let me see. Steph says, outsiders play a part too. Women encourage their friend to stay and work it out. Yeah, they do. She also says
And men praise it.
Men ridicule their friends. Ridicule in what way? As far as what?
Meaning that, to me, I feel like men laugh at it. Some men.
Laugh at what?
Depending on who your circle of friends are.
Laugh at what?
If you cheat. I'm saying, they think it's funny. They think, oh, you being a dog. That's right, man. Like, you have to have some good people. Even the Bible say, make sure your husband has some good people around him, some good
People.
men, strong men.
Hold
It
on.
specifically
Hold on,
says
hold on,
men.
hold on, hold on. Everybody got to have good people around them, not just men.
Right, but that's what
Everybody.
she's saying.
Yeah.
Women will sit there. We don't praise that. There's some. There's some.
You got that women. You got the women that are single and bitter and lonely, and they see you your relationship. You're happy. You're married. That's what they want to be.
But key
so they're gonna feed
single, bitter,
But
and lonely.
they're friends.
Happily married men and men in general, they are not surprised if they hear that their homeboy cheated. For some reason, it's not a shocker. It's not a surprise.
I disagree.
It's some,
on
not
that.
all
Yeah,
men.
I can't say.
But
all
I feel
men.
like it's like expected almost for a man to cheat. It's more expected, I think, in society.
Like I said,
I think it's more expected.
But that's the stigma. That's just how society look at us
Yeah.
as all men cheat. Now, I can't say all men friends will sit there and co-sign that.
No, I
'cause
don't think
we won't.
all, but I think it just depends on the circle of friends you have around you.
But I will say there are those group of women, and there's men too, that would encourage it. Hey, yeah, go ahead and be a dog.
Yeah, especially if
They
you're a
out there.
woman that's going back telling your friends, especially the single bitter ones, what's going on in your marriage and you're not happy. Yeah, you're gonna have some that encourage you
They
to
out there.
go out, hang out, get a little attention or whatever.
Saying what Steph says, like all women do not encourage their friends. They have some bitter, miserable friends that will push the agenda of that friend cheating so they won't feel lonely.
But they must don't like the man. Don't
misery,
just
no,
kidding.
misery loves company. I work
Maybe
around
they
a lot
don't
of
like
women,
him.
and I've seen it. They would encourage that. Girl, you can have an argument. Girl, come out with us. He ain't no good cheat. You know what I'm saying? They encourage.
They're not gonna say the word cheat, but
they're
they
not
are
gonna
gonna
say
to
cheat,
go out.
but they gonna push it to the. They gonna tell you to go out and
So
meet
what's
some
wrong
other
with
nigga.
going out?
Go out and meet some other nigga.
No, not to meet nobody, just to go out with the girls and have a girls' night.
Go out, have a drink. What happens after that?
You go home and go to sleep.
No, when you're upset, stop it. Stop it. Get out of here.
I don't know
Stop
what
it.
women you're
Stop
talking about.
it. Women, stop playing.
I
not
don't know
not
what
all,
women
not
you
all.
talking
but
about.
I'm talking about the bitter, lonely, miserable women who try to will them in the married chicks. That's what I'm
What they
talking
do-
about.
You need to quit.
Them.
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
stop acting like they stop that. Let's stop acting like they ain't out
You
there.
need to quit.
It's on both ends. Let's stop. Like we know what I'm saying. Like I don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm talking about from a male perspective. I don't want to hear none of my homeboys talking about if they not happy with their wife or they want to do this and do that. I don't encourage it. I'll be first to tell you, leave her, divorce her.
Right.
That's just me.
So, and what if they don't? Because some people want to have their plate and what is it? What's the saying?
Want
Want
the
to
cake
have
and
like
eat it
cake
too.
and eat it too.
Listen, man.
So, but let me ask you: if you know someone is married, right?
Yeah,
And you tell them, you know what? If you ain't happy, leave.
I've done that.
And they're still dating other women. Will you support it? Will you support it and try to find somebody to hook them up with? Look at that laugh. Look at that
No.
laugh. You lie. You are
No,
lying.
listen.
Well, we gonna talk about this. He is straight
Listen,
up lying.
What's in the dark will come to light. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't answer the question.
What-
You answered it, but
What's
you
in-
lying.
What's in the dark will come to light. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. That's to Stephanie's point.
Stephanie said that's only in the movie. What's only in the movies? Would the friends be supportive? Nah, that's real. That's real, sis.
Gerald, don't sit up here and
That's
tell
real,
me
sis.
that if you
That's
had a
real,
homeboy
sis.
that was married and he wasn't happy and he was looking for somebody else, that you would not try to find somebody to hook him up with. Don't even sit here and tell me that lie.
Women support each other. That's a lie right there. Talking about a lie. That's a lie.
Women do support each other.
That's a damn lie.
We talking about
Y'all-
friends. We ain't talking about just women that you work with or women in the
Y'all
street.
do
We talking
not-
about real
that
friends.
is
We're talking.
not- no, it
No.
don't say
We are
friends.
talking about
It
friends.
don't
But
say
right
friends.
now we are
No.
talking about friends.
No. She put Steph. Women support each other.
But
That
that's
is
what she
not-
mean. Of course, everybody is not going to
Okay,
support you. Only the
because
people in
that's
your
a damn
circle.
lie.
No, your friends and family will support you. But when it comes to men and their
it don't-
homeboys, they do not
That's
support
not
their
true.
marriage.
That's not true.
No, they don't. That
That's
is
not
true.
That's not true.
That is true. I
It's a-
haven't seen
it's
one
a-
man that
it's
will
a-
support his friend's
it
marriage
is-
if he's not happy. Not
It's
one. Not even
it's
you.
a competition thing with women. Y'all compete with everything y'all do.
We're talking about
From
friends.
head to
We're
toe.
not talking. Okay.
It don't say
specific,
friends.
but
It say women.
I'm
It say
asking
women.
you right now.
It don't say friends. It
friends.
say women.
Well, let's categorize it and say friends.
Mm-hmm.
My friends will not support me stepping out in my marriage, happy or not. They will
It don't-
not
It
support
don't
it.
say friends.
Not
She
Stephanie's.
say women.
Stephanie's statement. But I'm just making a statement, and I'm telling you, my friends and a lot of people who are friends with someone who's married will not support her stepping out on her marriage.
Everybody out there listening.
See how he?
YouTube.
This how you know he's sitting here full of shit because he
time
know
is
I'm right.
Time is winding. It ain't about being right or
You
wrong.
know I'm
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
No, I'm right.
Leave
You
your
can't even
comments.
answer
Tell
the
us what you
question.
think. I already answered it. Okay,
You
now you
lying.
say you meant friends.
See,
Okay, now
thank you.
okay.
Clearly, she meant
Good
friends.
Good friends. Yes, they would do that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you encourage somebody to do anything, it is up to the individual to make a decision. That's what it's about. So leave your comments on YouTube. Tell us
So you
what
see
you think
how he
about.
just brushed my statement off because
I
he
ain't
know
brush
I'm
it out.
right.
I already answered. YouTube.
You lying.
IG,
You lying for the
IG Live. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna finish this. You can finish this on catch us on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. So what is the next situation you want to get into? Trying to
Well, speaking,
ambush somebody in the corner.
I ain't not
Nigga.
trying to ambush
Oh,
you. You
I
trying to
can
brush
fight,
me
nigga.
off because you know I'm right.
Yeah, okay. I got hands. I can
All
get
right,
out that
so
corner.
we not on live. So this is me talking to you. I'm gonna ask you a question.
What is the next topic? I already answered. I'm
It's
not gonna
right
answer
here.
again. With time is going.
But I don't think you understood me.
I understood you.
Nope.
What's the next one?
So
What's the next
let me.
topic?
I'm gonna ask my question.
Girl trips, guy trips. We're
Neither.
wasting time. We're
I'm
wasting
gonna
time.
ask my question.
Go ahead. I already
Friends.
answered it. I already
No,
answered it.
because you thought we were talking general.
No.
So
I
friends-
know exactly what you're talking about. I know what
Okay.
you're talking about.
So
and I
clear
answered
this
it.
up to me because I don't see the
I
clarity
already
here.
did. You got too much to drink. We're gonna go to
Nope.
the next one as time
So
is
clear.
wasted.
Friends in general.
I'm gonna cut your mic off if we can't move to the next thing. I already answered it.
Men in their friends, do you think they support their marriage if they are not happy?
Do you think who support the marriage? Who?
For men in general, if a man is married and his friends know he is unhappy in his marriage, do you think they support him? They may tell him to leave, but do you think they support his decisions if he chooses to step out?
I can't speak for every man. So
Would
that's
you?
that's a
Would you personally,
that
if
that
one of
question
your
don't make
friends
sense.
cheated on their spouse, would you encourage them if
I
they
could-
if they were looking for somebody else, would you encourage them or try to hook them up with someone? Would you?
I could tell somebody yes or no. It's up to that individual. We're grown. You know what I'm saying? You could tell somebody, hey, don't do that. You're married. And if that, person
wasn't the
decides,
question. My question is,
I just
if
told
you knew
I
somebody
just told you.
that was willing to sleep with your friend or would hook up with your friend, would you hook them up
I already answered
knowing
that.
that he's married?
Time is wasting. I already answered. We have to
See?
move along. Thank you.
Prove my point. Thank
okay,
you.
whatever.
Let's get
Guys,
into the next
sometimes you have
topic.
to move on to make them feel like they won. If not, you'll be going back and forth for nothing for a long time.
I won.
Okay, you let people win. It's not about the fight; it's about the war.
I'll take that
What's
win.
the next topic?
Okay, so speaking of
Choose your
women
battles, fellas.
and men. Speaking of women and men, right?
Choose your battles. Go ahead.
See, someone who want to let it go, he just got to get the last word.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
I'm not refilling your cup. Let me get this cup.
Ain't nothing- go ahead. I'm good.
So anyway, so Okay. Speaking of relationships and marriage, right? If you are married, do you think it is okay for your woman, for your wife, to go on a girls trip with her friends, and vice versa? Women, I want to know: are you okay with your husbands going on guy trips with their friends?
I would say like we gotta grow up. I'm gonna be that man tonight. We gotta grow up. Like, you know, girl trips were not happening like that until this stupid ass movie came out. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. They happen a little bit.
That's not true.
But
They've been
now
going on.
they happen a little bit, but now since this movie came out, everybody want to do a girl trip. And
It's
this
been going on.
hold on.
That's where Girls Trip got the idea. This is not something that they started. Girls Trip got the idea because this is something that's happening. It's been happening before that movie.
It went up after this movie because now people see the movie. Now they feel like, oh, I gotta do it. And okay, when you're younger, it's understandable.
I don't think it has anything to do with age.
Yeah, it do, because that's part of your whole phase. You go and have these trips with your friends and stuff like that. When you get older, it's time to like, because you're not gonna like if a man go with his friends to a guy trip. You're not gonna like it.
I mean, for me personally,
You
I
wouldn't
think
like
it
it.
depends on who you are going with
You
and
wouldn't
how
like it.
long you're going.
You will call me every hour on the hour. I don't care.
I probably would, but I also trust you, and I do trust
You
some of
calling
your
every
friends,
hour
not
on-
all of them.
Let me tell you something. I could go with Obama and Jesus,
But it's
and you
been
still would
times
call.
that I've been on trips for a weekend, and
Did I bother you? You've gone on girl
you
trips.
didn't have contact with me. I was overseas. My phone wasn't working.
No.
You couldn't.
You went. Even though it was a wedding, that's technically still.
Overseas. That was overseas. I
could have hit you up on WhatsApp.
I did not even. WhatsApp wasn't even out. I didn't even have a WhatsApp back then.
Been out.
I didn't have.
They ain't just come out.
I did not have WhatsApp. I did not have
But
WhatsApp
you
in
knowing
2017.
Me, you knowing me, it's been out way longer. You knowing me, I would not have a problem with you going out there.
You had a problem when another something else came up, and what my point was, it depends on who I go with. It was another opportunity came up with another group of girls where we were going to go on a cruise, and you were not comfortable with that. But the wedding was different because you were comfortable
They
with
were
my.
hoes.
But that's what I'm saying. That's my
There was
point
a bunch
to
of
you.
stinks.
Whatever you not comfortable with,
Jump
I
off.
get it. I respect that. But that's what I'm saying to you. If you were to go on a weekend, okay? No, not no week trip. Weekend trip with some of your friends.
Also,
good group of guys.
it's days.
I would not have a problem with that.
It's the amount of days that counts.
Right.
Me and Papoose and some other great husbands can go, and you still would call on the hour every hour.
Yeah, you damn right I'm gonna call.
Okay,
But
so it don't
I'm
matter
on
who
the
it is.
FaceTime, nigga. Where you at?
So
No,
it
I'm
don't. No,
joking.
you're not joking. You
But I
dead serious.
think it's a respect thing for wives and husbands. I don't think it's just something that women are uncomfortable with. I think men are uncomfortable with it too. But it depends. And also, you have to evaluate who they're going with.
I agree with that on both ends, but I feel like a lot of married couples and couples that's older feel like they missed something when they was in their 20s, so now they trying to relive what they didn't get to do, and they go out there with a bunch of stanks.
That is not true.
That is true.
Because our
And
parents go on trips without their
they don't
husbands.
they don't go on girl trips. Stop it. They don't go on girl trips.
They go with girls. So what do you call it?
They
They
don't
go with women.
No, you know what I mean by girl
They
trips.
go with women.
You know what I mean. It's multiple girls. That's the girl trip. Stop playing with me. Wrong with you. That don't happen. Like, at some point, you gotta let that go. You gotta let that, especially when you're married. Then it's couples trips. That's what
Right.
it is.
Right, and I agree with that. And for me personally, like you even said, it was funny when that opportunity came up for me to go on that girls trip.
Wait, hold on.
You
First
was
of all,
like, that's what I'm about to get to. He was like, now, babe, you know damn well you don't want to go on no girls trip with all them damn women for X amount of days. So, and you were right.
it had nothing to do with me because you, like, women. It's hard to, especially if you're not really tight with them.
Right,
It's
but
hard for a group of women to be together in one place for a long time.
not a group, because for me, like I have my 3 solid friends that I will go anywhere with. Them 3 solid people. Now, when if they start inviting other people that I don't know, and it goes past a weekend, no, I ain't going.
I'm telling you,
not going.
it don't matter who I go with. You can be calling every hour on the hour, trying to do FaceTime, where you at, what you doing, who
Yep.
you with. Yeah, that's come on, man. That's let that girl trip crap go. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. If you ain't doing it in your 20s, let it go.
But that's because I missed you. That's
That
all.
ain't got nothing to damn do with it. You just being nosy, and that's all that is. You want to know what's
I
going
just
on.
missed you.
Ain't
That's
you don't
it.
miss no damn body.
That's
No.
it. I
That's
can't
a
miss
lie.
you.
No. Not on the guy trip. No, you can't. And see, I ain't get to do it on that stuff in my 20s. I ain't get to do it.
I'm sorry.
You sorry, huh? Yeah. But we gonna set
But
one
do
up
you
in the
would
top
you
of the
want
year.
to? Because I know you and your friends discuss guy trips.
We do. We've been discussing guy trips for years.
So it's not childish for men to do it, but it is for women. That's a double standard.
No. What do you hear more? Do you hear guys trip more or girls trip? That's
I
like
hear both.
no. Stop.
I hear
stop.
both.
Stop.
Guys, and let me
tell
tell
the
you what
truth.
it is. And we can call some
Let's-
some guys.
Nah, we not.
I'm
we're not
telling
tonight.
you, a lot of guys, their favorite guys trip is to Vegas. That is a guy's trip right there.
What's wrong with that?
But that's what I'm saying. I hear a lot of. You're not understanding my point.
I understand
I'm
your
addressing
point.
your question where you said you don't hear a lot of men going on trips.
no,
when
no,
they
no, no,
do.
no. That's not what I said. I understand because that has tripped me and my homeboys discussed
That's
years
what I'm
ago.
saying. Vegas is the
this-
spot
but this-
in cruises.
This is what I said. I didn't say they don't exist. I said, what do you hear more? That girls trip, that is solidified. That is
But I
stamped.
think that also depends on what type of environment that you're in. If you're in an environment that's mostly women, of course, that's all you're going to hear is women talking about it. But when you're in an
No.
environment that has a lot of men,
No.
I'm
Is
telling
there
you.
a movie called Guys Trip? Stop it. There's a movie called Girls Trip.
Okay, calm down.
No,
Okay,
Girls
okay.
Trip. That's the name. Is there a movie called Guys Trip? No. I mean, The Hangover is pretty much a guy trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a movie called Girls Trip. Let's stop. That's a tradition for y'all.
Okay.
I'm serious. It's a tradition. That's what it is. And then another thing too, guys. Some guys are so freaking not comfortable under their skin that they don't even want to be around other guys. You know what I'm saying? Girls, that is a tradition. That's y'all thing. That's just what it is. Don't get all quiet and stuff now.
I'm just
Huh?
agreeing with what you're saying. I
Ain't-
said
don't
that. I
agree?
told you if I went on a trip with multiple women, I wouldn't want to go on with a lot of women, especially women I don't know.
I think the main issue I think women would have is less is like a like before they get married and it's a bunch of guys and they go like to like Brazil or something like that.
What, a bachelor party?
Yeah, bachelor party. I think that women have an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think a guy would have an issue if a woman had a bachelorette trip somewhere, you know what I'm saying, or a bachelorette party. They might go to a strip club with Mandingo and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, what? But people out there listening, leave your comments and thoughts of what you think about this girl trip, guy trip thing. I think it's a bunch of baloney. They making a part 2 of girl trip. You talking about guy trip? Think we ain't got a movie. What are you talking about, man? Girls Trip 2 with corny ass Tiffany Haddish. Don't get quiet over there.
I'm just letting you have the floor.
It's
You
just
on one.
Tiffany. They know my name. They know my name. It's
Stop
just
pushing
Tiffany.
that button. That is not me. He keep pushing his
But
button over here.
we about to get out of here. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nope. Think we're good.
This has been episode 21. And again, you can catch us on YouTube. Subscribe. YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Also, if you want to leave a story, it doesn't necessarily have to be you. A story that you may have heard of or a question that you have, you can also leave it at the Thomas Gang 2020 at gmail.com. Again, that's the Thomas Gang 2020 at gmail.com. Want to say prayers and condolences go out to George Floyd family, Breonna Taylor family, the young man that passed away a couple of days ago. I wish I knew his name, Elijah something, the 15-year-old. Like, let's still fight this power and sign these petitions and go out there and protest. Do what we got to do. Let's not forget these people's names. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it going. Like, again, prayers and condolences go out to them and justice for all of them. Let's not forget that. You know what I'm saying? Support the Black Dollar. This Thomas Gang. We out.
All right.